In the process of making butter, just put it in the mixer and mix on low until you get whipped cream. Well, the cream's starting to look a little bit more like whipped cream. Once it gets a little bit more on the whipped cream side, you will want to cover with a towel or it's going to go all over. More of the whipped cream. And then the buttermilk is going to separate from the butter as soon as you'll get water in the bottom, which is fine. It's just starting to separate, and that's when you're gonna get more of a mess. That's when I just cover with a towel. At this point, I'm just gonna scrape down the sides a little bit just to get all of that in there. It's starting to come together a little bit more, of like a whipped butter at this point. Just whipped cream. And then we'll turn it back on and let it keep going until we see a separation. You can tell here that it is no longer white as it was before. You can see on the spoon it was more of a white, just the cream. Now it's more of a yellow. Soon it's gonna start separating. Alright, you can see it's starting to separate now. Starting to have a little bit of the water in there, or I guess milk. So I'm going to cover this now so it doesn't get everywhere. Alright, so pretty different from the last part. Now it is butter. So we're just going to take this out and take as much of the buttermilk out as possible. It'll stay fresher once you take it out, so we're going to put it into some cold water. And we're going to try and get as much of it out so it is just running clear. Alright, so I have my butter. I squeezed it out as much as I could. Now I'm putting it into a cold water to stiffen it up, which is very cold on the hands. Just going to squeeze out as much as possible. Then we'll put it on some parchment paper. And you can add in any of your add-ins at that point. See? And there's our butter. And you can add in anything into your butter, your salt. Even I've tried cinnamon and sugar, so you have a cinnamon butter. You could put, the sky's your limit. You can make your own butter. Alright, so I'm just gonna flatten it on here. You can get a fancy butter bell or to make your little designs or your butter mold. I don't have anything, and you can do it without. I'm just going to fold it into there. Doesn't want to be pretty. I'm not putting anything into it. That way I have free range of what I want to use it for. And then I'm going to fold it up. And then I'll write the date on which I made it on here, and that'll be good. And here is the buttermilk that I can use for any recipe. I would have had more if I had more cream, but I only had a little bit left that was in the fridge. So I'll make this into one of my recipes this week. I also forgot to mention that this is not, I don't have a dairy farm that I go to get my milk. This is just regular old whipping cream from the store. That you are able to make your own butter, so you know exactly what is in it. And that's all.